to Unlocking Success, the House podcast where you and I will listen to authentic agent stories and insightful tips to reach success in Dubai real estate. I'm James Perry, Managing Director here at House. Today's guests are a lot of successful agents in Dubai and thought, if they can do it, so can I. That was over 7 years ago. Today, he's one of our Associate Directors and Sales Managers. Jack Smith, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
No worries, how are you today?
Good, excellent, thank you.
Amazing. Do you want to start us off, Jack, by telling our listeners at home how you got to House, what your journey looked like getting to Dubai?
So in terms of coming to Dubai, I mean, myself and my wife, we visited Dubai, it was around kind of 10, 11 years ago. We only spent 2 nights here on the way back from Bali, and when we were here we thought this place is incredible. It's definitely a place we could live. You know, it was obviously a short trip, but we could obviously see us being somewhere like this. I then knew people that had been out here, worked in real estate, had spent some time out here, and as you said there, I thought if these guys can do it, you know, I can definitely do it and come into the real estate space. 7 years ago I moved out here. I was with another company, as you know. Things were going fairly well there, and then ended up at House, which was a very good move for me.
Nice. So you came from a completely different industry.
Yeah.
How was that transition into real estate?
My kind of background was, you know, left school very kind of young, like kind of 15, straight out of school. Moved into the kind of call centre environment that was like, you know, selling gas and electricity, and a lot of cold calling. And looking back, that was actually quite a good environment to move into to go into at that kind of age, because again, looking back, it was very competitive. Mm-hmm. You were getting a lot of, you know, rejection, and it was quite an exciting kind of buzz environment. So I moved into that. And then I stayed with the same company, worked my way up into kind of management, and then worked in field sales, which was face-to-face selling central heating boilers actually, and central heating systems. So I think it set me up fairly well in terms of a lot of experience in that kind of call centre environment, face-to-face sales, a lot of rejection. You met a lot of people from different walks of life and spoke to a lot of people from different walks of life in that role. I think it set me up fairly well, to move over and the kind of transition into real estate.
Probably the perfect breeding ground by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Nice. How easy or difficult was it in terms of just doing your first transactions? I was looking through your notes just prior to this podcast, and I hear that you had a couple of quite traumatic early times just in terms of like potentially going home or staying. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so look, I think most people that have been that are successful, or most people I know that are successful in real estate in Dubai, have had that kind of moment where they were very, very close to, you know, potentially, you know, going home, and if this deal doesn't close or I don't get this over the line, like, it's kind of make or break.
Yeah.
There was certainly a point where, you know, there was one big deal, or it was a big deal then. It was around 11 million dirhams. So 5 years ago, that was a fairly big transaction. It still is. It's still a lot of money, but obviously in today's market, you know, the guys are doing them every day, or every other day. There was a moment on that deal that we were working on it for months. I was going walks on the beach at like 2 or 3 in the morning because I just couldn't sleep with stress, and just thinking about it. And it was not a straightforward deal. It went on for a long time. Thankfully, we got it over the line. Even after it was signed, it still took quite a bit of time to actually get it transferred, and there was a few hurdles in there as well. But I think that was the point when that actually transferred. It was a huge experience and a huge learning curve. I think that was the point that I thought, right, now I can do this, and I've gained a lot of experience, and not just the monetary side of it, but that kind of gave me a bit of momentum to start moving forward.
Nice. You might not be able to remember this, but what was that time frame between you coming to Dubai and actually doing that first deal, getting it signed?
So that one wasn't my first deal, but actually doing my first deal, from when I arrived, it was around 7 weeks.
Okay. Fairly quick.
It was yeah. I mean, I would say that is fairly quick. Some are doing deals quite a bit quicker than that now, but for a sales transaction, it was fairly quick. But again, then you've got to wait for it to transfer, as you know, as well. So, but yeah, it was around the 7-week mark.
Nice. What do you think you would have done if you wouldn't have done that deal?
Look, I would have just kept going. I would have just tried to, the plan would have been just keep going and just trying to work on other deals. But that deal, the big deal that I was talking about, I think that could have been make or break, where we would have potentially have went home if that deal didn't happen. For sure.
Okay. You're a big fitness fanatic. Try
to be.
And I either see your videos in the morning or you sent me a message before I've got up usually. What's your morning routine like? Look,
first of all, I'm no like fitness kind of guru, but I think like for me, having a solid morning routine is very, very important. I just can't kind of operate the same way if I've not had that kind of routine. So I got up around 10 to 5 I've always got the alarm set at kind of the exact same time. Get up, have my coffee, take the dog a walk, go to the gym, go a run, whatever that may be, one of those two, or if it's just a kind of chill day, I'll just take the dog a long walk down the beach. I just love it, so that's my morning routine. But the really good thing with that time, what I love about kind of that 5 to 7:30 in the morning, it's probably the only time of the day that our phones are not kind of blown up with WhatsApps and phone calls, and you know how much the WhatsApp groups go off, and the team are looking for you, buyers, sellers are looking for you, etc. So that kind of 2.5 hours is where I get kind of a bit of kind of peace. Phone's not going off, and I can and I can do my thing in the morning, and I think it sets you up very well for the day.
So you don't look at emails and things like that?
No, I still do. I still do, because I try not to. I've tried. I've went through. There's been a period where I've thought, right, I'm going to not look at my phone for the first hour of when I get up, just to completely switch off from it. But getting up early in the morning means that I kind of need to go to bed fairly early at night. And again, a lot of the guys in the office kind of make fun of me, call me like the old man, because I go to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But so when I wake up, you're going to have a bit of a backlog of messages from the night before that you missed. Because again, with being, especially in Dubai, like a lot of people are still up looking to do business late on at night. So again, could that have its negative side of it, of me going to bed too early? Potentially, but I think that morning routine for me is very, very important. I get up and get that done in the morning. I've got a lot more energy, head's clear, and I'm ready to go for the day.
Nice. So as I said before, you're one of our associate directors and sales managers. Tell me a little bit about what your working day looks like. Look, it's fairly hard. I think firstly it's fairly hard to really structure a day in this industry and stick to it. I think we all try and have the perfect planned day, but you get sidetracked every other minute of the day with things coming your way. In the mornings, look, when we come in, we try and as a team look at what business is out there, what active clients we have in the market, whether that's buyers, sellers, new stock coming to market. So we have a bit of a catch up as a team around that. Between around that kind of 8:30 and 9 in the morning, I try and get any sort of admin done, look at what new listings are online and what's going on in the market, check out Property Monitor, which shows you all the recent transactions. So in the morning I try and get that side of it kind of out the way, and then again, ideally your mornings kind of making, getting on the phone and speaking to clients, again, buyers, sellers, and then in the afternoon hopefully you're out of the office. But again, we've got a team now. I manage a team of around 13 brokers, so you're getting stuff kind of thrown at you all the time. If they've got deals out there, contracts to get approved, then that can come my way anytime. And as you know, the urgency sometimes to get these things approved and get them out the door needs to be done pretty quickly. So for those people that don't know, Jack works as like a player manager role, so you're actually a broker and you manage people. What percentage of your time would you say is spent managing the team versus managing yourself?
Look, now I'd probably say now about 70% my own time. Obviously we've built our Arabian Ranches team over, I was the first sales manager in-house, and that was just over 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago nearly. So we've spent a lot of time building a really strong, successful team, and with that, the guys are pretty experienced, or very experienced. So I'm very lucky that fortunate that we have that team around us. So yeah, I'd probably say around 70-30.
Nice. You do have a good following in the market, I would say. There's a lot of people that know you, whether that's by name or by face or by doing deals. You have people coming to you in terms of looking to join the company, looking to join your team specifically. Maybe it's another team within the business, and you do sometimes get involved in the kind of interview piece. Yeah. What do you actually look for in a hire?
Look, if it's someone that's already got experience in the market, what kind of number of transactions they've done the year before, a bit of understanding what their knowledge is really like in that kind of community. If they specialise in a certain area, how knowledgeable are they, number of transactions that they've done, if they've got experience in the market. If someone comes in and they're looking to join the team, no experience in Dubai as of yet, I think it's quite, I think I can have a kind of quick 10-minute conversation with someone and probably tell if they're going to be fairly decent in Dubai real estate. And I think that's just from, they have a lot of energy, they're well presented, can they, get a conversation going pretty quickly. Confidence is a big thing. So yeah, that's what I would look for.
What would be a big turn off for you in a professional sense?
Not well presented, which you see a lot of agents in this market that are pretty scruffy. So that is the first impressions are extremely important. So that would be one of the big turn-offs, and just not being able to hold a conversation in a room. Like, I know when people come in for interviews and things, they can be nervous and but I think it's just confidence. If they're lacking confidence, then I think that's going to be a big struggle in this market, because you're dealing with one very good, your competition are very good, and you're dealing with some, pretty savvy kind of clients out there as well. Yeah.
When I think about the business, I would think for yourself, you are somebody that is definitely a leader. What's the one skill that's been hardest to develop as a leader for you personally?
Look, I think, trusting your team, having complete trust in them, that they are, out there, and it wasn't hard to learn, but I think, trusting your team that they're out there and they're doing their job, and just not breathing down anyone's neck to see where they are. I think, like, you've got to have trust in your team, trust in your, your kind of players, if you like. You guys have definitely got trust in me, and trust in the guys that are in the team, and just that they're out there and working hard when they're not in the office.
Perfect. We touched on this earlier, obviously, with your background on the phones and what have you in the call centre, but people talk in this industry specifically, and other industries in Dubai, about the phone being an essential part of the job. How important actually is it?
Yeah, look, I think it's extremely important. It's the main tool. It's our office. We're on it, kind of, as I said, nearly 24/7. When we're not sleeping, we're on the phone. So extremely important. I think number one, you want to try and get in front of clients. So face to face, I think, wins. So if you've got any potential clients, get in front of them. But yeah, the phone is very important. But it's there for phoning people as opposed to just hiding behind WhatsApp. Yeah. A lot of people in this industry hide behind WhatsApp, and it's a great tool and it has its part to play, but actually using that phone to phone people.
It's amazing actually, the amount of brokers that come into contact with myself who are, looking to either sell or rent my properties. And these guys, if I was to put a ratio on it, I would definitely say like 100% on the WhatsApps, and maybe, 20% on the phone calls. People just generally don't pick up that phone. Okay, what's the key to making money in this market?
Hard work, consistency, trust is a huge thing. Like, a client needs to trust you. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I think at the start of anyone's kind of real estate career, it's kind of survival mode out here. Like, so, you know, it's, you know, get a deal done and kind of move on, and you can understand why people do that. I'm kind of guilty of it, but trying to maintain very good relationships, building trust.
How do you build that trust?
Look, giving the right advice, being present throughout the process. Again, you know, you're not just there to sell the property and get the contract signed and move on and pass it over to the conveyancer, which again a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But just being there throughout the entire process, and not just to transfer. We try and go to every single transfer now that our clients of the deals that we're doing. We try and be present there.
Yeah.
We don't need to be there because we're not actually adding any value in terms of being there, but it's just to say hi, how's everything going, make sure that everything's going smoothly. The conveyancer's there and that's their job, but yeah, just being there throughout the entire process, and after the process, once they've moved into the property, having a chat with them, how's everything going, or investment, how's the investment doing, you know, is a return what we were hoping it was going to be, what's the appreciation on that asset now that you bought. So yeah, just keeping in contact throughout the full process.
And are you strategic in the way that you go about that follow-up after the transfer, or is it just an ad hoc thing?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll try after a transfer to then visit them at their house, maybe in 4-6 weeks down the line. But you know, not everyone wants to see their agent again. Unfortunately, it's not. But clients that I've really clicked with and got on with, and yeah, I'll try and visit them. But I think 3-4 weeks after the transfer, touch base with them. How's everything going? Everything okay in the property? Just to make sure that they're happy with it now that they're in and settled.
Yeah, nice. So you've just renovated a lovely new property for the family to live in.
Yep.
I've been round, it's very nice, well done.
Thank you.
How important is it for brokers to actually put roots down here and try and purchase, whether it's an investment or a family home?
Yeah, look, I think if you're a top performing agent and you're advising clients to invest in this market, then you should be doing it yourself. That's it. 100%. You should be, you should be investing yourself. If you truly believe in that, and going back to trust, I will only sell clients something that I really believe in. So yeah, I think it's very important. Look, you understand the process. You're in the market, but I think for me, after we bought our property, renovated it, moved in, just gave me huge motivation to actually become much better at the job. And it's not because I spent a lot of money renovating it or because I've now got the huge mortgage, but it's just because I thought, right, I'm really here for a long time now. It's no longer, I will go out to Dubai for a year and see how it goes, then it turns into a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
That house is now our house. Potentially we'll hold on to that forever now. So that's given me a huge boost of motivation to really do better, and I think that's why at the start of this year I kind of I came into this year really focused to do well. So yeah, look, answer your question, I think it's important. It kind of cements it for long term that you're going to be in Dubai.
And have you brought that purchase into conversations with buyers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I think a lot of clients ask if you've bought yourself in Dubai. So yeah, look, I do, and maybe if there's clients looking to buy a standard unit and renovate them, at least I can give them, I suppose, peace of mind of this is a contractor who used. I've been through the process. It's maybe not as painful as some people tell you it is in Dubai. Doing a renovation. So I have been there. I've done it.
It was quite painful though.
It was quite painful. It was painful, but it wasn't. At the end of it was fine. It was worth it.
The finished article's definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, it was worth it. But so yeah, look, it's good to have that experience. You've bought yourself, you've renovated yourself. You've been through it, so you can advise clients accordingly for sure. Amazing.
On a personal level, what are you passionate about in life, and how do you spend your free time?
So, yeah, now as you mentioned, like fitness and health, you know, I'm kind of I'm now kind of into the later 30s kind of now. I wish I was passionate about it when I was a bit younger, but yeah, now I'm passionate about that. Obviously my family, but I think like we've just had a baby, and you know, I want to make sure that personally that I'm extremely healthy. I want to improve my health moving forward, not just maintain it. Physical, mental health. So I just want to get that really, really solid, so that again, when our kids growing up, that you know, you can spend a lot of good quality time with them. So that's something that I'm really focused on just now. And I think in turn and hand, by doing that, you just become a better broker and a better person. And so yeah, that's where my kind of passion is now.
Nice. How do you focus on the mental side? You've talked a lot about the physical, and I know obviously just from knowing you very, very well that you spend a lot of time on that aspect, but how do you develop that mental side?
So look, certainly with this industry, it's got so many ups and downs, and you know, look, as an example there, I finished Q1, you know, I think I billed the same money in Q1 this year as I did all of last year, and I should at the end of Q1 been absolutely buzzing, and I should have been extremely happy with it all. Completely went to plan, team did well. I think I finished top of the board in the office in Q1, but then in April was pretty quiet, and I actually got in a bit of a rut in April because I was a little bit quieter. So it's just constantly constantly telling yourself that, you know, you're doing everything you can, you're working extremely hard every day. You know, you should be grateful for everything kind of round about you and what you've achieved. But it's like, when's going to be enough? Do you just always want to be doing more deals and be more successful? So look, just kind of, yeah, bit of gratitude, I suppose, that you're happy with everything that's going on. Very lucky to be here, lucky to be in a great company. Yeah, and then, you know, as you said, the exercise certainly helps as well. And sauna as well, as you know, a sauna every night nearly. So 20 minutes in the sauna with no distractions gives you a good night's sleep, and then you're ready to go again. So that helps with the stress.
Amazing. Do you, just on that last point then, do you actually truly ever reflect on yourself and your team and just give that pat on the back that you should do?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I try and do it. Like as I said in the morning, I go out and I walk the dog. Like I try and, yeah, like, you know, try and give myself that kind of pat on the back, as you said, that, you know, and it's the old thing, you see it kind of, you see it on social media a lot. Like if you told yourself 5 years ago you were going to be where you are, you would be like, you'd be absolutely, you know, buzzing with it. So, and that's completely true for me. Like in 5 years ago, if I knew I would be where I was now with the house and you know the kid and the position I'm in with house, you know, that would be enough. Like that was it. So yeah, no, I definitely do. I think it's very important.
What does the next 5 years look like for Jack Smith?
Next 5 years, I want to continue to get better and better at this job. Want to continue to get to grow within house, get the people in my team better, and just continue to improve personally, you know, and professionally, personal growth, and yeah, you know, make further investments, become healthier, as I said, and yeah, I've got a real drive in me this year to just continue to become better and improve.
Amazing. How do you think you can get better? Because obviously when you start off, you know, you just kind of learn, and it's like chaos, then it becomes organised chaos. Yeah. Then you start to really see the gains, and you know, whether it's monetary or just doing certain processes better day to day. But once you get to a certain level, and you are at a certain level now where you're you're very well respected within the company and probably outside the company as well, I'm sure. But how do you go up to that next level when you're already at an elite level for this market? Yeah,
well look, first of all, it's recognising like what mistakes you've made, because I'm definitely not the perfect broker. You know, I might, in terms of numbers, I might be at that kind of level, but there's a number of deals this year, as an example, or a number of clients that I've kind of dropped the ball on and I've lost and they've went elsewhere, or, you know, I could have sold them that property and I just missed it. Yeah, I could maybe blame myself because I was, you know, I could give an excuse that it's because I was extremely busy, and yeah, I still had a great start to the year. But I think it's just recognising that when you miss out on a client, or when you drop the ball on something, or make a mistake, that you recognise it and you actually care about it. You know, it would be easy for me missing out on a couple of clients saying, oh, do you know what, I've had an amazing start to the year. It doesn't matter, but it's just caring that it does actually matter, and I want to make sure that I don't make those mistakes again. And yeah, just improve on the things that I've maybe missed throughout the start of the year.
Sure. What's one common myth about real estate agents in Dubai? There's obviously a lot of social media flying about at the moment, and everything looks, all rosy and all bells and whistles from the outside. Definitely for people looking at this market from other countries and around the world. What's one common myth that you see?
One, probably that we just open doors. That's it. Like, the job is just picking up the phone, booking in a viewing, and opening a door. And I think you hear that quite a lot. You see some things around social media of real estate agents that they're getting paid a huge amount of money, and all they're doing is opening the door and showing you around. Some agents do that, but they won't be the elite ones that are making the life-changing money. So I'd say that's probably one of the myths, that there's a lot more to the job than that. For sure, if you want to be at the top level.
Look, I guess the market's super buoyant at the moment, right? So in this kind of market, there probably are people doing that, and potentially making good money doing that. But for sure, if the market dips, whenever it dips, I guess the true kind of operators come out at those times. You
only find out who's swimming naked when the tide comes out.
Good quote. My quote from the last meeting. Well done. Who was it by?
Warren Buffett.
Amazing. Thank you, Jack, for joining us on another episode of Unlocking Success, and thank you for being here with us and listening to Jack's journey. I've got another special guest lined up, and you don't want to miss that story. To know more about Dubai real estate or career opportunities at Haus, click the link to our website in the show notes. You can also follow us on Haus on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. Until next time.